2 Division, UDX 483, QRZ.
Okay, UDX 483, 2 Fox Bravo 376.
Man, you're blowing smoke into South Carolina this morning. I just caught the Fox Bravo 276 and I followed you up here. Got beautiful massive audio into South Carolina, but I'll let you get some of that Europe. Definitely good to hear you in my receive though, my friend.
Okay, you're 5 by 7, 5 by 8. I remember talking to you a long time ago. I recognize your voice too. Plus I watched your video of us talking last year or the year before. This is Jeff, JFF.
Roger, Jeff. You definitely sounded good. I got you 5'9", 5'9". Like I said, just pounding audio. It's beautiful. Making a good trip. Getting a little bit of England. Got some Ireland. Definitely glad it shifted back to Europe again.
Okay, and yeah, we're in Minnesota. I'm at my house in the big cities today in Minneapolis. Over.
Roger, Jeff. Yeah, I'm 30 miles west of the East Coast, just outside of Charleston, South Carolina. My grandfather was from Minnesota, just outside of Minneapolis, as a matter of fact.
Okay, cool. What was your personal again?
Operator on this end is Steve, Sierra Tango Echo Victor Echo.
Okay, Steve, number 3 in the log. I talked to November Whiskey 36, and then I talked to Andre in Northern Ireland. Over.
Roger. Yeah, my conditions are a little bit up and down. I got what was it? 2 Fox Bravo. No, that's you. I got David in Ireland, Kevin just outside of Cornwall, and got somebody else. Oh yeah, World Radio 251, Mark out of England this morning, and he was booming, but Kevin, I had a lot of QRM. I had somebody whistling and a few rogue calls that I don't think they could hear us at all, but they were coming in stronger than David. So yeah, it's a lot of QRM out there this morning, but yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. At least we got conditions. Yeah, this is a fresh rebuilt radio I got a few weeks ago. Right. My other Kenwood 440 developed the wax on the boards issue, and it wound up degrading my sideband modulation down to where it wasn't even legible no more. So I got this rebuilt 440 from the guy that looked at mine for $400, and then I brought in my amplifier at the same time because that had issues. He got the dirt out of there and replaced both of my tubes. Over.
Well, it seems to be working well, that's for sure. No complaints on this end. Yeah, definitely doing the job.
The only thing I got to do to fix everything is I got to finish doing my grounds. I got the ground rod clamped yesterday. I got everything else. I got the bus. Now I need to figure out what I did with the corrugated electrical wiring covering, because I want to put that over the braided grounds so they don't touch together, especially going inside and outside the shack, because they got aluminum siding up right out the window. Over. Right.
Yeah, Roger on that. Sounds like somebody's trying to get in there. I don't know. I keep hearing a break, but yeah, I'm gonna do a lot of things, a lot different than what I've got at the moment. But yeah, I've got a lot to do before I can get there. I'm also using a braided ground out of the shack, but I'm going through the floor. Got a wooden floor going out. I'm actually in a aluminum sided shed. Like I said, I'm going out of the floor rather than through the wall, so I'm avoiding that. Got my ground rod just off of the side of the shack there, so, and actually using a copper pipe runs the length of the bench and the braided ground clamps to the end of that. So pretty simple. If you go out there and check out my channel, you'll see where I've got a video on that as well. But I actually got most of it from a silent key. That's where I got the idea for the grounding pipe, and I just drilled into the through the partitions on the bench itself, and it hangs in the back, and I've got the alpha delta grounding connections on it. So yeah, it seems to work well. I hope it works well anyway. But yeah, we got a lot of changes coming in the hopefully near future.
Yeah, this radio has the antenna tuner, so when I got everything reset up, I noticed that the SWR is a little mismatched, so the tuner does work on this radio, so right now it's bringing everything down to 1.5 with the amp on and off.
Yeah, Roger. I'm still running the Anytone Quad 5 Plus, little Texas Star MC250, getting about 150 whiskey out of it. On a good day, it'll swing about 175, but averages about 150. The Delta M2 microphone, and still the homebrew 5/8 wave ground plane sitting. I am about a foot higher. Not that that makes any difference, but it's sitting at about 23 feet now, and seems to work well. I've got a Dentron MT3000A antenna tuner. Once I get, like I said, some changes in the shack and some additions, I'll probably put it in line. But right now I don't need it. The radio's showing 1.2 right now, and that's pretty much across the board. Now, if I turn the amplifier off, it does not have a good match on the talk through. It'll jump up 1.5, 1.7, depending on where I am. And if I go AM, it's even more. It'll sometimes jump up to 2, but I pretty much avoid AM for the most part. And if I do, I'll go ahead and turn the amp back on, and then it jumps back down. But the talk through on this thing is not good at all.
Well, I had my antenna tuned for the channels up here, and then when I reset up everything, I looked at it, and it was saying that my best match channel was channel 20. I never set anything up for channel 20, and then it gradually climbed, so the antenna's going to have to come back down, and I got that shorter piece of coax that I was using before, because I got too much coax laying on the ground here, so that might be affecting things also.
Yeah, Roger, I had to buy another piece of coax. Recently I came out and shoot, I was talking, next thing I knew I looked up and I was sitting at 1.8 and then 2.1. I go, uh-oh, and I believe what happened is the rain was going down in through the connection on the antenna and puddling in the top of the coax, and eventually seep down into the case. So I need to get up there and seal that. I got to get me some silicone to seal it to at least down to the drip area, and try to keep that from happening again. And I've got a little more coax than what I'd like, but I've got it actually coiled inside the shack, so it's behind the bench now. But you know, I could get a 50 foot and stretch it tight, or I could get 75 feet and have a little bit extra. And like I said, with the changes coming, I figured the 75 feet would be better alternative, and I could get it for the same price as the 50. So that's what I did.
Yeah, I wound up having to put all brand new bolts in my tripod because they were just completely rusted. So that's fixed. I had to add more lag bolts because it damaged the roof a little bit. It tried to rip up these shingles up, so I fixed that. But the antenna's only on an 8-foot piece of mess, easy and quick, and then we can retune it. And I have to have my friend come over with the analyzer.
Yeah, roger that, roger that. I had to restart the camera, ran out of time. But yeah, I'm gonna have to get me an antenna tuner. I've got a handful of antennas. Like I said, hoping to make some changes when I go back. I've got a high gain HG 54 HD, it's 54-foot crank up tower. When I got it, it came with a high gain 3-band 10 meter, 15, 20 meter 5-element beam. I also picked up a colossal 10K vertical that I plan to put over the top of that. I picked up some ham equipment, got a few mobile radios and antennas to go with them, and I passed the technician course a few weeks ago, but got to wait for the FCC to open up to actually get a call, and then I got to it may happen before they open back up. I've got to get the general because my dad passed last year. He was ham since the late 40s, I believe it was. And I want to get his call so nobody else gets and tie it up. So I plan on populating the tower real good, but that's going to require fabrication of a antenna, the tower mount, because can't get it anymore, and then a bunch of concrete to go around it. So yeah, it's going to take a little while, but once it's all up, we're going to have a lot of fun, I believe.
Okay, sounds like you hit the lottery or something. We're still running the Mako V58. I have another one up north, and also a half-wave horizontal dipole up north.
Yeah, roger that. Well, I did kind of hit the lottery on the tower and so forth. I had been admiring this tower for probably close to about 30 years now, and I was passing by one day and I said, I'm going to cut through the neighborhood and take a look at that thing. And I rode by the house. The grass, the weeds were nearly 3 feet tall, and the front window was busted out of the house, and there was a tax notice attached to the front door. So I left a note that I would like to have the tower, and a few weeks later I got a phone call, and sure enough it was the gentleman's son. The house had been broken into, and since I had talked to him and set up getting the tower, somebody broke in and stole all the radio equipment, and I actually found it listed on Facebook Marketplace, and he got the majority of it back when I was supposed to get a antenna tuner and a few other things from him, but those things didn't come back. But yeah, I got a really good deal on it. I ended up, that's where I got the Dentron antenna tuner. So I got some really good stuff at a really good price, and you know, I don't have an issue getting a used antenna. I'm a spotter, man. I can spot an antenna hanging in a tree somewhere. Not that I want antennas out of trees, but yeah, when I drive the highway a lot, and I'm always looking. I'm an antenna freak. I love them. I have an addiction. Can you tell?
Yeah. Well, my great uncle got me into radio. He brought me my first space station when I was 10, and I had the CB license when I was 10. I think it was 77 or 78. He tried to get me into ham, but I'm like, I can't learn that Morse code, you know, so he bought me a Messenger 250, and also picked me up a high gain Ringo.
Yeah, roger that. Well, that's cool. Not sure if you know it or not, but code's actually not required now.
Yeah, I know that. I've rebought the book twice by mistake. I haven't read it. A while back I did the practice, and I did pass it 2 or 3 times, and that's when I should have took it, but I didn't.
Roger. Well, what I did, hamstudy.com. Hamstudy.com. Check that out. It's all of the current questions. It's multiple choice, and you just go through that and read them over and over and over until you start getting them right. And that's what I did. And I passed the tech, and like I said, I'm going to do the same thing on the general. And you know, will I ever use much of it? I don't know. 10 meter, 20 meter, I'm interested in that. The rest of it, I don't know that I'll ever use it. Will I ever use any of it a lot? I don't know. You know, I enjoy freeband. I love freeband. I always have, ever since I got to where I could get to it. Single sideband is my game. That's what I prefer to do. I enjoy doing it, and you know, like I said, will I ever use much of the ham? I don't know, but you know, I'll get it. I'll have my dad's call sign, and you know, I'll take it with me. I don't think my son will ever get any interest with it, but hey, we'll see.
Yeah, one of my sons almost got interested. He was listening to STR and stuff, and I told him, hey, I got radio and power supply and stuff to let you use. You just have to figure out an antenna. But then that didn't go no further. Yeah, my great uncle gave me, he was a radio operator in World War II, a Navy ship. I don't think I told you about that.
No, you didn't, but that's cool, and you know, that's the thing. You know, a lot of younger people, especially nowadays, you know, internet and cell phone, you know, figure. And I had an older gentleman whose brother is actually a ham operator. He says, you know, why do you want to do that? Why don't you just use a cell phone? And I told him, I said, well, you know, just for instance, last Saturday I was scanning through the channels, and I found a couple guys that were in London talking to each other, and I just, you know, asked to get in the conversation. They let me in, and I talked to a couple guys that I've never heard, never put my eyes on, and in London, and we had a conversation for 20 minutes. Do that on a cell phone. Yeah, Roger. Yeah, you dropped back to a 5355. But yeah, I got most of that. TikTok. Yeah, I haven't made a TikTok account or anything yet. But you're on YouTube. Roger, Roger. Well, Jeff, I'll definitely check you out, and you've got mine, and I've got all but a couple seconds of our QSO here, so I'll put it out there. It may be a few days. If you're on cluster, I'll log you here in just a minute, and once I get it uploaded, I'll send you the link there. QSL.
Okay, I'll log you on LDX.net. You can get a hold of me that way, and also we're on Telegram. We got another page. We're looking for more members. We only got 25 right now, or 73. We got conditions 2UX483 from 2 Box Bravo 376. Take it easy.
Jeff, the last digits, is that a number 2 or a number 376? How about you, Jeff? How about it? Is that a number 2, or a number 3, number 3? Yeah, I'm losing you.